everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today we are going to make a succulent dough bowl candle. Now, like a good millennial, I love succulents. And about 2 years ago on TikTok, everybody and their mother were making these succulent candles. But unlike everyone else's mother, my mother isn't on TikTok and doesn't know that other people have made these. So when I give her the candle you and I make today, she's gonna be impressed. I've had the raws to make this for like a year and a half and I never really got around to it. And then I saw that Candle Science had a new something. That something being one of their waxes in a microwavable container. No more cleaning out the wax melter, just pop this sucker in the microwave. So it's a soy blend wax made with soy, sunflower, and I believe coconut as well. So I thought, let's pour a little layer on my dough bowl and then add in a bunch of little succulent embeds. First thing we have to do before we do anything else is spray this dough bowl with fire retardant. I've never actually done that before, but that is what all the candle makers on Reddit said to do, so that's what I'm going to do.
This is not a DIY video today.
This is a Katie is experimenting and having some fun, and you are along for the ride. I got this dough bowl for $15 at my local craft store, so let's go outside and give it a good old spray. This is what I am using to spray on our dough bowl. See, works on wood. And basically, we just need to spray it on. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, that looks properly soaked to me. I did get some of it on the concrete though, so I may have to have Caleb clean that up. Okay, so while that dries, I am going to get all the ingredients out that I need to make the succulents themselves. I'm going to be using all of these silicone molds. This is another reason why I chose a pillar wax instead of like a container wax, because trying to get anything too soft out of these extremely detailed molds would be a nightmare. And then for the fragrances, I'm going to use some new fragrances that Candle Science released. They are the Elements. So when you think about complex fragrance oils, there's lots of different notes. So they kind of pared it down to make mixable single note fragrances. So I have coconut and vanilla and they smell incredible, and you know I'm gonna mix them up. All right, let's go melt our bag in the microwave and then we can start coloring it and pouring these succulents. Let's talk about wicks. Now, the recommended wicks are the LX wicks from Candle Science, but you know, I don't have them. I have got literally 5 of every other type of wick except for those. So we're going to make do, and we're going to use the Premier 795s. I love Premier wicks. I use them all the time. I like them better than the Eco wicks, the CD wicks. I like them better than all of those. They just have a really, really, really stable burn. And I'm going to purposefully underwick our container. I'm sure you understand why. I don't want that heat getting anywhere near to the edges of our dough bowl. Let's face it, it's an aesthetic candle. It's not really made to be burned. It's made to be put on your kitchen table and everyone go,
"Is that a candle?"
And you go,
Yeah.
and then you do that until you die. Let's also go ahead and set out all of our succulents. Some of these are just too big. Like, what was I doing getting this? This is enormous. This is like the size of my palm. I also want to do lots of different colors. Might even do somewhere like you put in purple and then you like swirl it around and then you pour green in afterwards so that all the tips of the succulent are one color and then the base of it is another color. Oh, I heard the microwave. Let's go get the wax. Skillshare. Skillshare, the perfect solution for trying to level up literally any problem that I have in my business, honestly. Recently, I have been working on my design game, especially when it comes to social media and Instagram stories. And I am telling you, there is a perfect class on Skillshare. It is literally a game changer. I will never shut up about this. It's taught by Maggie Stara. It's called Master Canva Design Stunning Social Media Graphics and Videos. This woman covers literally every Canva topic. It's like a 13-hour course, and she will walk you through everything from picking your colors, setting your goals, creating animated reels, business cards, mock-ups, even custom ebooks, like literally a whole ebook. in Canva. And I have learned so much from Skillshare and all of the classes that they offer. And maybe you're not a small business owner, you don't use Canva. It doesn't matter. There are thousands of classes available on Skillshare, and they cover a huge variety of topics: design, illustration, film, photography, baking, cooking, and they're all taught by actual working creatives. So yeah, it feels extremely practical and hands-on, and all of the class guides are incredibly useful. It's also all on demand because let me tell you, I do not have a single day that is exactly the same schedule as the day before, so I have to kind of work this in as my schedule allows. And every class comes with real projects so that you can build your skills as you go. Hello, hands-on learning for those of y'all who work better that way. So whether you're a total beginner or like you want to start selling your stuff online, this class and Skillshare in general is a huge win. The first 500 people to use my link down in the description box below and on screen now will get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. Once again, the first 500 people to use my link down in the description box below and on screen now get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And let's go get the candle wax actually out of the microwave now. After about 7 minutes in the microwave, this is what we're working with. Completely melted wax. So I'm just going to open up the top. It is very warm. All right, I am going to add in both of these fragrances. That is 12.5%. They said that this can hold, like, I'm not even joking, like up to 25%. I could technically add in another 2 ounces if I wanted. That smells incredible. Literally filling my whole room. I am gonna blend this for about 1 minute by hand, and then I'm going to use the spout to pour small increments into the silicone pouring pitcher cup. Bag is sealed, so no spilling from the top. Gonna just pour some into my little container here, and then we're gonna add in some candle dye. I'm gonna start with some lime green from Hive and Honey, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of olive green as well. Mix that up real good. The wax should be very, very dark. Like, I'm always surprised by how dark wax gets in a container, only for you to pour it and be like, well, that's 2 shades lighter than I wanted. All right, let's do a couple of different sizes. I really like this color. And the good thing about waxes like this is that they set up quickly, because you know I'm impatient. For this one, I'm gonna do what I said before and just kind of squeeze it around and roll it around in the container, just like so. And then I'm actually gonna squeeze off the excess if there is anything, just so everything is coated once. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Just kind of squeeze it, roll it around real quick, and dump. That one looks even better. Then I'm gonna fill up some of these bigger aloes. All right, let's pour off a little bit more. We're gonna do a lighter shade this time. Just 1 shade of green by Nature's Garden. This is kind of a blue-green though. All right, let's pour some of this green into our other lighter green. I think that's gonna look cool. And gosh, I'm just gonna keep doing this over and over again until all of them are filled up. Okay, so I did my best with the color mixing, but I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. I looked up pictures of real succulents to try to do some of the color pairings, but this could be a disaster and I just won't know it until I unmold these in about an hour or 2. One thing y'all should know about me is that I'm overly optimistic about all Bath & Body projects, immediately assuming that I will be a professional the first time I try it, and then when that inevitably doesn't happen because I am actually not a superhero, I'm mad about that. So as you can see from the carnage on this table, I thought I was going to show y'all this incredibly aesthetic, very satisfying unmolding of these succulents, when in actuality, over 2/3 of them broke, okay? Here's the small array of some of them that I might be able to save. Oops, that came apart. Please don't bother looking. And the rest of them are carnage. So yeah. From this point on, I am going to reheat things individually, but I'm also going to butcher some of these molds. This guy unmolded super cleanly, but pretty much all the rest of these need work. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so you can see I made a nice split here, and then I will just rubber band this silicone together. Hopefully nothing leaks. All we can do is hope for the best at this point. Okay, I have poured a little bit of wax into these two molds. You can see where the slit is. I actually didn't even put a rubber band around them. They just aren't leaking. I mean, I over poured this one, but they're not leaking. So I'm gonna let this sit for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna try to unmold it and see if this goes any better. And if it does, I'll go ahead and cut all of these molds. In the meantime, these really don't look that bad. They were just so bloomin' hard to get out. I refuse to be beat by this though. I know that I can do it. It's just going to take a little bit longer than I expected. Like 5 days later, and it didn't work. I did learn some things though. First of all, you have to wait until this wax has set for like 5 hours minimum. No, oh look, it's not gooey anymore. Maybe I'll just, no. You must wait. It must be fully hardened, okay? And even so, look at this. There was actually no way in Christendom this was going to work. But look how pretty it would have been if it had worked. It came apart in so many different pieces, but it would have been perfect. And that was basically the story with anything that I tried that have these really pointy shapes on it. If it was rounder, it was okay, but the really, really pointy ones, they just broke over and over and over again. This was the best one that I could unmold, and you can see it was still awful. However, it is not a complete fail. There were still some that unmolded cleanly, so I actually was able to get a full tray, and it looks legitimately so good. They look pretty real. So now at this point, I have a giant mess that I have to clean up. I'm gonna gather up all the little scraps of wax. These are highly scented. My son Will came in here and started chopping them up. He really thought he was doing something, and he was like, can I have them? So I'm gonna put them in a little cup for him, and he can put them in the wax melter in his room. So it's not even a full loss. We're gonna recycle. We're gonna give it to a kid. And you, my friends, get to enjoy a cleaning montage. Table is all cleaned off, so I went and got some more wax to put in our little wax melter so that we can pour the base of the candle. Originally, I thought I was going to use this blended waxes pillar soy wax, but then I felt it, and it's very hard. So I'm kind of worried about shrinkage and pulling away from the edges of the dough bowl. So I think I'm going to switch to the Golden Brands 444 soy wax. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. I may look through my other waxes and see. But I'm also going to go ahead and set this candle up. The first thing that I'm going to do, because I pretty much have everything where I want it to go, is set all of my little embeds kind of similar to where they are now behind the mold so that I can place them where I want. And as you can see, I do have some that are broken, but I think I'm just going to try to glue it together and maybe no one will notice. I mean, it's a free candle for my mom. I know she's not going to complain, but I do like to put my best foot forward when possible. Okay, that's a little bit spread out, but still, I have the general knowledge of where everything is supposed to go here. I'm also not really sure how much is gonna fit in here. I think it should be about 2 to 3 pounds maybe. I don't want to fill this up very much because you want it to melt down and all these embeds to melt down if she does end up melting it. So I'm just gonna put my wick stickers kind of where I want my wicks to go. Again, if I was gonna sell this, I would never do something like this. I would make sure that everything melted properly. I would use the right type of wax. I would melt full candles to make sure people could get the most out of it, you know, yada, yada, yada. But really, this is kind of just for show, and I'm admitting that. And once again, this is not a DIY tutorial. This is you and me hanging out, crafting, having some fun. I'm also thinking about this. These may float up. Like, this may not stick at all. But I am feeling pretty good about it. I think she's gonna get some use out of it. And again, I am under wicking this so that the melt pool never reaches anywhere close to the edges of the dough bowl. Okay, let me go melt down about 2 pounds of wax, and we'll see where that gets us. Okay, 2 pounds blended wax. I used some of the wax from Makesy that I used for the candle video where we tried to dupe the very expensive candle. Mixed it with the pillar wax. The fragrance is super strong. I used Very Vanilla from Candle Science for the fragrance. Because I already have a coconut vanilla thing going on, this is a perfect addition. And honestly, if I don't know what to fragrance something when it comes to candles or sugar scrubs, this is just my go-to scent because it smells good and everything. Okay, let's see where 2 pounds gets us. I'm going to kind of pour it all around. We've still got about 3/4 of an inch of a lip from the top, so I feel good about that. Now I've got to figure out how in blue blazes I'm going to hold these wicks up straight because, oh no, see, look, it didn't stick anymore. Ooh. I need something really long, like a tape measure or something. Why didn't I do this before? I don't know. See, as soon as I touch them, it's like, girl, you didn't really think this was gonna work, did you? Yes, I did. Maybe what I can do is just cut some of the excess length off because I don't need that much. It's not gonna be that tall. Oh, well that worked better. Ah! No, don't fall down. Get out. Okay, this guy is like not gonna participate. Okay, 3 down, 2 to go. Okay, that actually worked better than I thought it was going to. The excess length on top was pulling these over a lot. But as soon as I cut that off and kind of tamped them down with my little cutter, everything did better. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes or so until it has a nice skin on top. And that's when I would take the risk of moving this off the table. As of right now, everything would just slosh and fall over and it'd be quite dangerous because it's hot. So I'm gonna let it sit as is. Don't touch it. We'll come back in 30 minutes and see what it looks like. Okay, so 9 million years later. It has literally taken me 3 days to do this. This is what our candle looks like. And as you can see, my worst fear absolutely came true because I have crackage. I have crackage not in one spot, but literally all the way around. So what are we going to do? I'll show you my secret weapon, the heat gun, which is how we're going to attach these anyway. I think I am just going to try to melt it down a little bit and just kind of seal up that crack and then also place all of these little succulents in as we go along. I've never done this before, so do I expect it to be perfect? No. Do I expect my mother to love it anyway? Absolutely I do. Okay, I believe that everything is stable at this point, so I can go ahead and cut down our wicks a little bit. They're obviously still a little bit too long, but that's okay. Again, most of this is for show. Okay, last one, and we're done. Need I say more? Regardless of the fact that I never want to do this again as long as I live, I do think it turned out really cute, and I know my mom is gonna love it. The difference in color in all of the succulents really makes this, in my opinion. If I had made them all the exact same, like 2 shades of green, it just wouldn't hit. It just wouldn't. I am so pleased with this entire project, and we should take it to my mother. Okay, I just arrived. Let's take it to mom. Okay, shut your eyes. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Open your eyes.
Wow! That's fantastic.
You like it?
Yes, that's beautiful.
Scented in coconut vanilla.
I love coconut vanilla, and I love this container.
Yeah.
And each of these looks so, individual from each other, different.
Yeah. I thought it would look good on your table for spring.
Oh, for sure. This is beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it. I love it.
Yay! I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you did, and if you want to shop any of the products I used in the video, you can do so down below. I will link as many of the items as I can, including silicone molds or whatever. This would be a really fun craft to do on a rainy day. I can also see myself wanting to do this with other people, like as a group craft. Maybe you do a little girls' night. Maybe you don't do a whole bowl, like a little jar with like 3 or 4 succulents in them, but it would just be really fun to do. Don't forget that that the Jungle Oasis collection is now available. All of our little soapies come in recyclable cardboard boxes. There are fruity fragrances, there are floral fragrances, and I even have one that is scented only with essential oils. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is going out, doing a little craft, maybe going out and getting some new house plants. You guys know I don't really care what you do, just do something for you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye for now!